City. It's Sam Long in goal, Adam Jackson.
Through all sorts of hoops today to get the game on in a safe and controlled way, which is fair enough. But from Monday, technically, there's nothing to work to.
Boston United's players making their way out onto the pitch here, along with the management team, including Craig Elliott and John McDermott. And as the Boston players make their way out, all named and numbered, good to go, all ready for the season. You can kick off today if you wanted to.
Yeah, no point messing about. Just get on with the job. One less thing to do nearer the season. So everybody's got the number. Everybody's raring to go. And really grateful for Lincoln coming down today to provide the opposition in what is the first match here with fans.
Yeah, Lincoln City players now making their way out onto the pitch. It is a Lincoln City side that has still got a few injuries. That's why a few of the players aren't involved today, but certainly a decent Lincoln side which has been sent out for this pre-season friendly, and a Premier League referee as well.
Yeah, Kevin has been down to do a couple of games for us. Kevin Friend, that is, has been down to do a couple of games for us in the past, kept in touch, and he's always said if we need a referee for a game to give him a shout, so it seemed perfect today to get a high-profile Premier League referee in for a big game against Football League opposition.
Okay, so it's Lincoln City taking on Boston United then. We're just awaiting the start of the game. The players going up to take their pre-match handshakes and to pass over the pendant, and then we'll be good to go here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Hope and glory. A reminder, if you want to keep up to date with the what's going on elsewhere in the world of sports, Scott Dalton will be on with Summer Saturday, and we're about ready to go. Just waiting for the final handshakes to be done, and then we will be underway.
20 is Trident B, 23 and captain is Lee Redcoat, and 35 Billy Brooks. For the Pilgrims this afternoon in goal.
So here we go then. It is Lincoln City taking on Boston United here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Two of our sides. Reminder, we've done a deal to do commentary of Boston United home and away in the league this season, and it is going to be Conor McGrandles who gets us underway for the Imps. You can hear the dulcet tones of Scott Dalton, I think, as well, Craig, while we're commentating.
I'll tell him to keep his voice down.
As I say, it is a commentary, but the good thing is I think we've only got 2 trialists on today at the moment for Lincoln City, because trying to work out who they are is always difficult.
Yeah, we try and keep trialists to win in pre-season, and we actually had to name a couple the other night publicly in the County Cup, because they did actually have to just sign a registration form to play. But I think we've got 1 trialist on the bench today, and Lincoln got 3 involved altogether, I believe.
The ball back with the Lincoln goalkeeper Sam Long. He goes towards the halfway line. The Grandals can't win the header. It's up to one of the new signings, Jordan Preston, for Boston. Back to the experienced man in green, out to the left and then back across to the centre half, Shields. Shields plays the ball low on the ground, out to Fraser Preston. Now back into the right back position, lovely ball forward into Burrow, and now with Preston once again. Preston looks to get the ball into his brother Jordan. It's a chance for Jordan here, looks to pass the ball into the penalty spot, and Tom Hopper doesn't get himself a free kick despite wanting one, and early decent football from Boston United, Craig.
Yeah, nice little bit of play there down the right hand side with the 2 Preston brothers involved. Jordan obviously unable just to find a man there at the end, but real pacey attacking front 3 today. Jordan Burrow's not in there, and the 2 Prestons are flanking Danny Elliott through the middle.
So it is Lincoln City taking on Boston United today in this pre-season friendly, and it is going to be cleared long by Sam Long, Lincoln's goalkeeper. Ball back now with the goalkeeper Peter Crook for Boston, and he clears it above the stand, and that's been the big change since I was last year against Chesterfield, wasn't it? Is that the stand opposite where we are, the smaller of the 2 stands going on the side of the pitch, that's now all finished and able to be used?
Yeah, January the 20th, that last game against Chesterfield here. The fence was basically blocking the view of that stand, but there wasn't much to see anyway at the time, but gradually popped out over the last 2 or 3 months, and it's fully commissioned this week and ready for action, and handed that over to the Lincoln City fans today. I think there's 239 allowed under COVID guidelines, so pleased to welcome them.
And the majority of them in the shade, which is good to see as well, because it is a boiling hot day here in Lincolnshire. Ball with Lincoln City and Remy Longdon. Now with Bridcut, looks to switch it across to one of the trialists at right back. The good thing is they do have squad numbers on today, which always helps me out. Ball now with Boston and Elliott, the man who scored the winner against Lincoln United in the Lincolnshire Senior Cup. And it goes out of play, and yeah, good start for Danny Elliott on Tuesday night, wasn't it? To get the win.
He was only here about 8 o'clock on Monday night signing, and then straight into action Tuesday, and made a really positive impact. Really looked lively when he came on, and yeah, last minute winner, just saved the drama of a penalty shootout after what had happened at Wembley on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the Senior Cup in a moment or two, because Lincoln have possession with McGrandles out wide to the right now to one of the trialists, played in field. It's going to be cleared away by Boston and by one of the Prestons. It's going to be a lot easier in commentary as a ferocious challenge comes in, a fair one as well. I think it was Billy Brooks, the young Lincoln central midfielder, showing no fear there against Luke Shields, who does put fear into some of the attackers in National League North. Yeah,
I was thinking it was Tom Hopper going in, who can probably give as good as he gets, but it was, like you say, Brooks, the young lad in midfield. Certainly didn't pull out of that. Fair challenge, very fiercely contested, but fairly won, and Boston back on the attack.
That's what you want from a pre-season game as well, a little bit of tackling and needle. I think it's always handy. I know managers will be screaming saying no, we don't want any more injuries, but I think you just need to make it feel a bit more real, to get prepared for the big kickoff.
Yeah, you've got to get that balance right, I think, not go over the top, but there's nothing worse than a tippy-tappy pre-season friendly where there's not a tackle made. I know it's not a competitive game, but fans have been out of grounds for too long, and they just want to see a bit of action and a bit of competitiveness, and I'm sure they'll see that today, but obviously without either side overstepping the line.
It is going to be with Boston United at the moment. Ball being played forward down the left-hand side. Still Boston move forward into green. Lovely little flick, and it's Boston again moving forward with Duxbury. Good to keep him this season for Boston. Ball with Long, the goalkeeper. Passes it out short to Liam Bridcut. Back with Bridcut once again. Bright green boots of Bridcut strides forward, which is switch play from right to left to Longdon. Oh, lovely touch from him. He's racing in on goal, and Crook will come out and gather.
Yeah, just overran it slightly. Good initial touch, but Pete Crook out to smother the danger.
Ball is with Boston United at the moment, with the number 23 Shane Byrne, who, whenever I've seen him play at this level, is probably one of the best players I've seen at this level in the last 5 or 6 years, and great to have him involved at Boston United. Now with Tom Platt.
Nice to be able to attract a really top player at the level that was desperate to come. It's probably just shows you how far the club's moved forward over the last couple of years, especially with the ground and everything. He was obviously, I'm sure any manager in this league would want to sign him, and he was very willing to come here in the end, so that bodes well.
Shields with a long ball forward, can't find Green. Jackson seeing that one out for a goal kick. It is an inexperienced back line for Lincoln City. There are a few players currently on the treatment table for the Imps. And as per usual in pre-season, Craig, for both teams, you never take a risk with players, do you? Even if they've got a slight knock, which I understand some of the Lincoln players, they've just got a couple of slight tweaks and to their injuries, to the problems they've got, just little tweaks. But I think the key thing is not to risk them, because otherwise it could end up being 6, 7, 8 weeks out and you're missing at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think that implies to Boston as well today that Andy Butler's not involved, Andy Thanodge isn't involved, nothing too serious, but there's no point risking it in a friendly when it could lead to something longer term, and you miss them, like you say, for the opening games of the league season.
Ball is with Boston, and Garner plays it infield now. Now here's another chance for Jordan Preston to move forward, finds Paul Green, thought he was going to line up a shot for a second or two. Green tries to chip the ball back through, good defending this time from Cohen Bramall. Still it's with Boston on the edge of the area. Elliott gets the challenge put in on him by trialist B. To trialist A. And Bridcut now moving forward down the right wing, comes one of the trialists.
Yeah, not that I would give it away even if I knew, but I genuinely don't recognise either Lincoln trialists, so...
No, I understand that these trialists that are involved for Lincoln City today are not players Lincoln are necessarily looking to sign. They're more of an agreement to try and help each other. Number one is the fact that these players can fill up a place in the squad, and number two, the players can put themselves in the shop window for whoever might be here today, maybe scouting Lincoln or scouting Boston, or maybe even for Boston United if they end up not getting a deal.
Yeah, you never know that. I've seen it before where trialists have played on one side and ended up signing for the other. It's two clubs are at different levels now.
Lincoln moving forward with Longdon, looks to play the ball into the far post. It's well overhit. Maguire will try and retrieve it. A new signing from Sunderland. Knows Michael Appleton, the manager, well from his time at Oxford United, but there's way too much on it, and it goes out of play for a Boston United throw. To be taken by Duxbury, one trialist in the, or two trialists in the Boston squad today. Craig on the bench.
Yes, a centre-half trialist at 12, and obviously Josh Barnes, the goalkeeper, who formerly of Stockport County, Derby County. He played 45 minutes at Lincoln United on Tuesday, and the manager's having another look at him. I think he's openly said that the one position he's desperate to sign now is a second goalkeeper, because he doesn't think, especially during COVID times, that he can afford just to carry one. So onus is now on Josh to try and earn a deal, and I'm sure we'll potentially see him second half this afternoon.
Bridcut with possession for the Imps, moving forward now with McGrandles. Back to one of the trialists, across to Adam Jackson, and then out to the left to Bramall. Again, runners coming forward, including Remy Longdon. Longdon with the ball. Longdon still has it, looks for Bramall on the overlap. Bramall will pick it up, plays the cross in, it's behind, and it will be a Lincoln City corner.
Is Remy Longdon formerly Remy Howard?
Yes.
I was going to say, I presumed he probably was.
Yeah.
Name changing for the new season. But yeah, good play down the left there from the Imps, and it wins them their first corner of the afternoon.
So a chance for Maguire to get the ball into the box and hopefully deliver for the Imps. Boston leaving two players forward on the halfway line. Lincoln leaving three back with them. Here comes the corner, played in towards the far post. Jackson wasn't far away, but the ball had already gone behind before it came back in. So it will be a Boston United goal kick here on BBC Radio Lunch and Boston United stream for you this afternoon. As a little treat, we don't usually do pre-season friendly commentaries, mainly because of the amount of trialists there are, but we thought we'd team up today, Craig.
Yeah, special occasion and all that. Really grateful to Radio Lincolnshire once again for their support of the club, and obviously the news that's come out before kick-off that we'll be doing commentary throughout the season, so looking forward to that. Hopefully it'll be a really good season with the squad assembled on paper. It should be.
Bramall plays the ball back, well there wasn't enough on that, but Lincoln able to recover and clear it forward to Longdon, trying to win it back. It goes out of play though for a Boston throw, played in quickly to Elliott. Jackson plays it out again for a throw for Boston United. Tutor will look to take it, played into Fraser Preston, does really well, looks to get the angle for the shot, and that's a really good save, but then the rebound is tapped in, and it is a first goal for Jordan Preston this afternoon. Long getting a hand on the first effort, but it was a simple tap in, and Boston take the lead 1-0.
There you go, brother, tap that one home. Great save from Sam Long to deny Fraser Preston, but the Jordan Preston on hand to tuck it away. 12 minutes in, it's 1-0 to the Pilgrims.
Yeah, did really well there, didn't he? Fraser Preston first off. You could see what he was trying to do. We were right behind the original shot, and that angle, he just tried to get the angle to curl it from right to left. And it was Jordan Preston there doing as all good strikers do, and maybe something actually that, and I know it's only pre-season, Boston lacked last season, was having that type of player who could score the scruffy goals.
Yeah, you saw as much football as I did last year involving Boston, and at times some of the football was fantastic, but too many times, Isley at the North End springs to mind, there was only the one goal to show for it, and it potentially cost points in the end, so not a bad habit to be getting into.
Ball is with Boston United, then they lead by a goal to nil here in this pre-season friendly. Of course, the result doesn't really matter today, but certainly players will look to take confidence from this afternoon's game. Ball played long down by Boston, down the attacking right. Elliott tries to win the flick on. Bridcut now plays it into Billy Brooks in midfield, just fires the pass out to the right, and now here's a chance for the trialist on the overlap. Longdon making a run forward. It's going to be played into Remy Longdon. Hopper's in the penalty area. Longdon will try and get it across, and it's behind. It will be a corner for Lincoln City. And good run, a good play again from Lincoln down that right.
Yeah, good move. Ball into Longdon. United fans love that shield sliding across. I've not seen that in person for 18 months. Total commitment there from the skipper, and the fans behind the goal certainly enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's nice to hear what the acoustics are like, 'cause obviously we've not tried it yet with the no fans in. Ball comes into the box, it's headed away by Boston, will be picked up by Fraser Preston. Fraser Preston goes down, and now maybe a chance to break on the attack. Lincoln able to just stop the danger for now, although it's now a chance for Duxbury moving forward. Duxbury in towards the edge of the penalty area, plays it across to Elliott, scuffs his shot and finds the back of the net. Well, I don't think he meant to hit it as bad as he did, but it did the world of good, and Boston have a 2-0 lead.
Fantastic run by Duxbury to get down the left, and an equally well-timed ball, but like you say, Danny Elliott completely scuffed that, and that was probably what took it so nicely into the far corner.
So the man who recently signed from Hartlepool United helped them to promotion to the Football League, and he has scored the second goal here. So Boston leading Lincoln City by 2-0 here on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. It is Hope and Glory. Reminder, if you want to hear what's going on in the game and have a bit of music and a bit of chat and find out what's going on behind the scenes, then you can do so with Scott Dalton. Just go to our usual Listen Live page on BBC Sounds for BBC Radio Lincolnshire, or put FM or DAB on the radio. And it is going to be the Imps who have possession at the moment. Adam Jackson with it, looks to move forward. Jackson into Longdon. Longdon then looks to switch play over to the attacking right. One for the trialist to chase back to Maguire, who tries to get there, and it goes out of play, and it's a goal kick. And he's remonstrating with the official.
Yeah, not too much in the game, was there? But 2 goals in 3 minutes to put the Pilgrims in control. Jordan Preston right on the spot for the first, and Like we say, Duxbury the architect for the second. Danny Elliott scuffed it away, should we say, rather than slotted, but they all count, and I'm sure he'll take that 2 in 2. 2 in not many minutes, really. He'd only got 90th minute on Tuesday and 14 minutes today. So, yeah, predators in the box. That's what you're after, and 2 of the United strikers up and running.
Yeah, and a Lincoln defence kind of as you would expect with 2 trialists in. It's always difficult for them to deal with, and that ball coming across from Lincoln's defensive right into the middle. As the ball is cleared out of play, it will be a Boston United throw once again for Tootle to take. Just swatting away a fly or 2, I think, then, that Tootle. Green gets fouled by Liam Bridcut. 2 very experienced men. Dread to think how many Football League appearances between them they've got.
Yeah, well over 1,000, I would imagine.
Getting there, wouldn't it? Yeah. It is going to be a Boston free kick just over the halfway line. Tootle will take it. Now he's going to leave it, is he, for Preston? Tootle will, in fact, take it. Just waiting for the free kick to come in towards the penalty area. Headed towards goal. Elliott with a header, and it's off the post and behind. Another great chance for Boston United. It was the original header. I think Jordan Preston won it at the far post, and then Elliott just got a glance on it. Sam Long felt it was going wide. It was good judgment from him in the end, but was not far away at all, Craig.
No, I think it just kissed the outside of the post, didn't it? So, yeah, like you say, good judgment. It was probably even closer than the keeper thought, but Danny Elliott looking a real threat.
It's a mess from Lincoln at the back. Boston with another chance now. Platt looks to play it into the penalty area. Played back out to Preston, Jordan Preston, that is. And Maguire will bring it free for Lincoln City, looking to sprint down the right. Goes past Preston, but then gets caught up, and it is a chance for Boston to come on the attack again. And it's Paul Green in a bit of space. Tootle just holds his run for a second or 2. Longden's there with him. It's back into Platt in the midfield. Now played forward by Jordan Preston. Looks for the run of the right, to the right of Green. Thrown out for a Boston throw. 2-0 up here, Boston, in this pre-season friendly. Now with Fraser Preston. Ball into Elliott, cleared away by Cohen Bramall. McGrandles will try and win the header. It's going to be picked up by Brooks. 50-50 challenge with Platt. Bridcut heads it forward into Hopper. Now with McGrandles to Maguire. Back to one of the trialists at right back today. Into the midfield to Liam Bridcut. Bridcut forward into Brooks. Once again, now back with Adam Jackson. First spell really for Lincoln City of any possession in this game. Longden plays it forward now to Maguire, and then across to McGrandles. Back to Maguire once again, and then with Longden looking to get something going for Lincoln. Brooks then tries to play the pass forward. It's over hit and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Brooks is small in stature, but he's willing to get on the ball and try and play. He's looked quite impressive so far. That one was over hit, but he's been at the heart of a lot of what Lincoln have done well so far. So it'd be interesting to keep an eye on him. Is he a youth team player?
Yeah, Billy Brooks, yeah. Just been called up to Highlands, one of Ireland's youth teams as well, so certainly looks like he's impressing. If you do have any questions with regards to Lincoln City or Boston United this afternoon, do tweet us at BBC Radio Links, because as we say, it's a pre-season friendly, so I'm not expecting any real pattern of play to the game a lot of the time, so we do have time to answer your questions. It is played long. It is going to be cleared forward by Cohen Bramall. Longden tries to control it, but it's picked off by Green once again. Chip ball forward. Jackson able to deal with that one. McGrandles back to one of the trialists. Still with the Imps. Hopper against his former club. Free kick goes against him on the halfway line. Boston take the free kick quickly. Played into Shane Byrne. Another ball flipped forward by Jordan Preston. Can't find Elliott this time. And can have it with Adam Jackson. Jackson looks for the run of Cohen Bramall, looking to stretch his legs, but again it's overhit by Lincoln City and out of play for a throw for Boston.
Yeah, Boston comfortable at the moment. It's that 2-goal lead from Preston and Elliott, 12 and 14 minutes. Sure, the fitness of the full-timers will probably tell as the afternoon goes on, particularly in this heat. But having said that, it might not be too much of an issue if the majority of players on both sides are only playing 45 minutes today. So we could see wholesale changes at half-time, no doubt.
Yeah, that's what's expected, certainly, of Lincoln. People around the club telling me pre-match. Here comes Boston again. Green with the ball into the box. Cleared away by Lincoln momentarily. Maguire on the edge of his own penalty area, looking to beat Duxbury. Plays it forward for McGrandles. McGrandles just spins away onto his right foot outside of the right foot pass to Brooks. And now a good chance for Lincoln to go on the attack with Bramall. Bramall racing towards the penalty area. Got Longdon just behind him. Ball with Remy Longdon. Now out to Bramall once again. Back into Longdon. Bramall's there with him if he wants to use him. McGrandles to Longdon, still in that corner, still very tight at the moment. Bramall having his shirt pulled for a second. Lincoln maintaining possession though, doing well. With Brooks, looks for the reverse pass in field. Tries to find Longdon, but again it's cleared away by Boston United. And it's a mistake from the trialist defender, and it's a chance for Elliott. Jackson's back there, but it's Elliott racing on goal. Elliott with the shot, oh, and it's just wide of the post. Real good effort. That's a real mess at centre half for Lincoln City.
Yeah, the trialist couldn't handle Elliott there. It never looked like he was going to win the ball. Elliott got through, and I think the only surprise was he didn't stick it away because he had done so much of the hard work. Angled finish across Sam Long, but narrowly wide from United's newest signing.
Ball is with Lincoln City and Bridcut, but another great chance for Boston United there. Ball coming from the mistake from the long ball forward. With Bridcut once again in the centre of midfield. Boston leading 2 goals to 0 if you're listening on BBC Sounds and you're not watching the stream with us today. The score is Boston leading 2-0. Goals in 12th minute from Jordan Preston, the 14th from number 14, Danny Elliott. Also Boston hitting the post in this game as well, just a few minutes later through Elliott. Once again, here is Lincoln City. Looking to get a hold, looking to just create something really. Not been able to so far, but here is Tom Hopper. Looks to play it forward to Longdon, no real options for him. Looks to play it back across the penalty area. Scooped away by Boston, picked up by McGrandles. Ball played out to the right. Now a chance maybe for Lincoln City to get the ball into the box, but it's given away and cleared again. And there's a real tug on the back of Elliott, who's causing that trialist centre half all sorts of issues at the moment.
Yeah, he's got the beating of him at the moment, hasn't he? And he's won himself on United a free kick there. Kevin Friend took a moment or two to award, but slight concern for United with Luke Shields.
And how is it you managed to get Kevin Friend so regularly? What's the...
I don't really know how the first contact came about. He refereed a game against Grimsby Town 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was probably a recommendation from the Links FA, or an introduction rather. And then we've kept in touch, and he always said if you want a game refereeing, just let me know, and if the date fits I'll come down. I think he's only based in Leicestershire, so it's not dragging him too far.
Perfect.
We always pride ourselves on looking after the officials during the course of the season, and an honour really to welcome him today, to be part of what is a massive occasion for the football club, the first game with fans, and he seemed the perfect choice to take charge.
It certainly is, and it's great, isn't it? As the players just currently having a drinks break at the moment, it's great to have fans in, great to have a proper game of football in a sense of being able to have supporters watching it as well, which is really good, and a real feel good feeling, isn't there, around the place?
Yeah, there is. We've got to capitalise on that now. I think we've got to make the most of people being grateful and happy to be back in grounds, and the experience will evolve. Today's obviously a test event. It's taken an awful lot to get ready for it, especially with all the COVID restrictions, but we've managed it. I'm sure there'll be things to iron out after today. We appreciate that, but we will work on it, and we'll step it up a notch even further next week, because as the restrictions ease, the more things we can do. We can open the concourses, we can open the snack bars, we can allow more people in, so it's probably nice today that it is a little bit more restricted, just to break us in easily, give us that first match where we've not got 4,000 in, just to let us get on our feet after what's been a year and a half without fans, and get ready for the challenges ahead when more and more people are going to be allowed in.
It's good to see a good laugh and a joke between the officials. Kevin Friend just squirted his linesman with a whole load of water, which is great to see. A bit of a laugh and a bit of a joke between the officials. The water break is over. We're about to get the action back underway here on Hope and Glory on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Rob Naples, Craig Singleton, your commentary team this afternoon. And it'll be a Boston free kick on the halfway line, which will be taken by Duxbury. Boston leading by 2-0 at the moment. And the referee is making sure everything's ready to go, and we will be getting back underway with this Duxbury free kick, played into the box, cleared away by Adam Jackson for Lincoln, headed up into the air by Tootle, and then out of play by Bridcut for a Boston United throw, which Tootle will take. One of those players who certainly feels he's lost a big chunk of his career with the way things have gone the last 18 months or so. Now with Bridcut once again, ball played forward into Preston, played by Byrne to the left to Green for the Pilgrims. Takes the pace of the game down ever so slightly there. Boston looking just to maintain and hold possession with Platt out to the left to Duxbury once again. Now back in to the middle of midfield with Platt. He plays it across the centre circle to Luke Shields. Shields looking for Tootle, finds him, back to goal at the moment. Boston still on the halfway line. Maguire trying to put a bit of pressure on for the Imps. Clear forward by Boston, headed away by Jackson. Boston who again pick up possession with Tootle, played in field to Preston. Preston does really well, edge of the D, gets the shot in, and it's an easy gather for Long, just diving low to his right hand side, and it remains Boston leading 2-0 here against the Imps.
Yeah, good again from the younger of the Preston brothers, Fraser this time, operating on the right, cutting in on his left foot and forcing a decent enough save from Sam Long. But yeah, really pacey front three for United today, and the wingers trying to cut in field on the preferred feet. And you've got to say it's worked well so far for Craig Elliott.
It is a throw for Boston. Jordan Burrow just making his way back into the dugout. A few of the players as well making their way back to their position, including Joe Leasley back at the club this season, signing another loan deal from Harrogate. Headed away by McGrandles, back to Adam Jackson now, the only man apart from Sam Long in Lincoln's defensive half, with Bridcut once again. Bridcut to Jackson for the Imps. Jackson looks for the run of Cohen Bramall. Preston missed his clearance, but has been dealt with by Scott Gardner behind him. In fact, Luke Shields it was behind him, and now here's a chance for Jordan Preston to put a bit of pressure on the trialist right back for Lincoln City. Long will play it out to the left to Jackson. Forward into Maguire. Lovely touch back from him into Liam Bridcut's path. Ball play forward to Longdon now, looking to spin on the ball. Longdon gets a free kick.
Well, there's a break in play. I think it's just appropriate for us at Boston United to thank Liam Scully, Jez George, Phil Hoff, everyone at Lincoln City for their help in getting today on. It's been arranged for a little while now, but then it became apparent that it would be the first game with fans, and they've really embraced everything we've thrown at them, including the live stream in the last few days. So really grateful to Liam, Jez, Phil, everyone really at the LNER Stadium. So just like to put on record our thanks to them once again for their support.
Ball play forward by Lincoln, cleared out of play by Peter Crook. Well, looked like it was, but spun back in field. Cleared away by Boston to Elliott. Plays it back to Byrne. Moving forward, pass finds Preston. Preston passes blocks, and now here's a chance for Brooks as the offside flag's gone up against Tom Hopper, I think.
Yeah, I think he probably got a free kick there if the play had gone on. I think he took a bit of a kick from Luke Shields, but the linesman's flag was up, bringing a halt to that Lincoln City attack.
It is with Matt Tootle now at the moment. Ball played off Maguire for a throw for Boston. Lincoln back in action on Wednesday night at Gainsborough Trinity in the Senior Cup.
And the other thing to mention, obviously, from a club-to-club point of view, obviously we wish Michael Appleton all the best with his health news this week. We're really rooting for him, and I know just hearing the news on the way to the game on Tuesday night was a massive shock. So everyone here certainly sends him our best wishes.
Yep, certainly. Conan, it was a lovely moment. I don't know if you were in the ground at that time, Craig, pre-match when the announcer talked about Michael Appleton. As a real massive round of applause for him from both sets of supporters joining together.
Can't claim to know him, but he seems a really likeable chap, and we hope everything goes okay.
Ball played into the box. It is someone who gathers. Ball is with Bridcut, out to the right to Longdon, back to one of the trialists. Now it's with Maguire, into Bridcut again on the halfway line. Bridcut plays it forward to McGrandles. McGrandles looks to get Hopper. Hopper out to the right. Another chance now for Lincoln. Played in field by the imps to McGrandles. Now with Brooks. A little bit of time and space to get the shot in, but always going to be gathered by Peter Cook there. Always an easy one, that one, wasn't it, Craig?
It was. It's not been overly tested so far.
Now Bridcut moving down the left, plays it infield. McGrandles can't get the header, but it's played back into McGrandles' path. Now Maguire with the shot. And you can hear from the reaction of the Boston United fans what happened to that one. It remains Boston 2, Lincoln 0.
Yeah, they're quick to gloat, aren't they? Bridcut, McGrandles and Hopper all involved there in a decent little move, but Maguire tried to take the finish on first time. It was never close to threatening Peter Crook in the Boston goal, but I'm sure Lincoln will be looking to find the route back into this game, friendly or no friendly.
Here's then a goal kick for Peter Crook to take. Headed by Jackson, who just landed really awkwardly there. It was a hefty fall. He fell on his back and almost skidded along the ground on his back. And just the momentum more than anything, wasn't it, of winning the header. And I think as he landed, his foot came from underneath him, didn't it? And it was just a hefty landing on his neck and shoulder area.
It was a good header, a determined header, and cleanly won that. But then, like you say, it was all about the landing. Unfortunately, from Jackson's point of view, he's landed square on his back, so he's going to get some good attention there from his own medical team and Hayden Clifton, who actually serves both clubs. I think he works for Lincoln during the day and Boston at night and at the weekends, so he'll obviously be well known to the Lincoln players. But it's one thing we do pride ourselves on: good medical care, and I know Lincoln are the same, and I'm sure he'll get the attention that he needs.
Yeah, just taking precautions here, as you would expect with an injury around the neck area. And Adam Jackson currently just down, and Lincoln won't want to lose another centre-half. They've got two trialists playing in the defence as it is, and when you look at the bench, they're certainly lacking in that part of the pitch, really. They've got Max Melbourne, who can play centre-half, but is predominantly a left-back. Teo Eden, who's a left-back. And then you're struggling, unless trialists see as a centre-half, then Lincoln will be struggling for centre-halves. Liam Bridcut's filled in last season at centre-back as well. But it certainly doesn't look, I know obviously they'll take their time over this, but not looking good at the moment for Adam Jackson.
No, he's not really moved, has he? But you'd just like to think that's medical advice, just stay where you are, but and rather than that you can't move, so fingers crossed that he's going to be okay.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. So Jackson still down, receiving treatment at the moment. The story of this game so far, Boston leading by 2-0. Jordan Preston with the opener 12 minutes in. Danny Elliott with a second. It was a decent finish from Elliott in the 14th. Not that he necessarily meant it. It was low into the bottom corner, but he properly scuffed it as it went in. Jackson now just making his way back to his feet in a second or two. Just checking his back at the moment. Luke Treadwell, the club physio there, and good to see is Adam Jackson back and okay.
Yeah, the longer that went, the more concerned I was, but think they were just taking absolute precautions, weren't they? And that's how you need to be. But yeah, he seems okay, doesn't he? Looks a little bit groggy, but can have a swig of water and back in action, knowing the type of character that he is.
Yes, Adam Jackson looks okay to continue in this game. It is Boston leading Lincoln City by 2-0 in this pre-season friendly. First game with fans here at the Jakemans Community Stadium. It's been good to see the Lincoln fans over opposite in the stand. Runs along the side of the pitch. We're in the main stand here, and then there's terrace to the left behind the goal where the Boston fans are populated, and then at the moment the stand to the right isn't there, but certainly will be popping up, I'm sure, in the not too distant future, hopefully, with the funding hopefully getting secured, Craig.
Yeah, I think the aim is to start sooner rather than later, is the phrase. I don't know when, I'm genuinely not sure yet, but I don't think it's too far away. Obviously it's not just the stand, it's got a big community sports hall attached to the back of it, so it's all sort of one job, so all needs to start and finish at the same time, so that will really close it in nicely.
Yeah, the artificial pitch is starting to come along now as well, isn't it? And started to...
Yeah, it's had a big attenuation tank fitted underneath, so that's taken a bit of time, but they've got the ground's now flat. The floodlights went up yesterday, and by mid-August it should be finished.
Ball played forward by Preston into Elliott. First touch is a half decent one, probably didn't get where he wanted to, but he goes for the shot, deflected behind. It will be a corner, and the ball will end up in the building site, so we need another one. But again, Boston's two centre forwards in Elliott and Preston causing Lincoln's defenders trouble.
Yeah, they've been very lively, haven't they? They've worked the Lincoln defence, like we've touched upon. There are a couple of trialists in there, so the Imps are nowhere near full strength, as we'd admit at the back, but United strikers doing everything asked of them so far. They've both scored and both look really lively.
The sun is shining right off those advertising hoardings where the corner is, and it is blinding, so I'm going to have to rely on you, Craig. You've got that.
Yeah, Shane Byrne's going to take this, I believe, but yeah, those last two advertising boards are blinding at the moment.
Yeah, there we go, that's better. I can actually see what's going on over there now. So it's going to be a corner, right-footed in swinger for Boston. Ball played in towards the penalty spot. Good punch from Sam Long, goes out to the edge of the penalty area. Help back in, and Long gathers at the second attempt there. Still 2-0 to Boston.
Had a good chat with Sam Long's dad earlier. He'd driven up from London for the day. Came to the office to collect his ticket. Seemed a nice guy. He was looking forward to seeing his son play this afternoon.
Yeah, getting a lot of pre-season football on. Lincoln still on the lookout for a goalkeeper at the moment, with Alex Palmer returning to West Brom. We'll see what's going on transfer-wise. We'll be speaking to one of the Imps management team post-match, so we'll get the latest with regards to that, and it'll be on the Hope and Glory podcast for you later tonight. Or we'll be with Scott on the radio between 5 and 6. Cleared along by Crook. Green takes it down, does really well. Helps it back into Garner's path. And then he misplaces his pass. Former Imp from many years ago now, it feels. Scott Garner, right at the start of his career.
Yeah, I think was he a permanent player? Was he on loan from Leicester?
No, I think he was I seem to think he was a permanent for a while. We're testing it now. I think he was. I think he signed permanently.
He certainly came to us initially on I think it was a half-season loan, which eventually became a full-season loan from Cambridge United. But he's been a fantastic signing from all those years ago, and could well past 200 competitive appearances for the club this season.
It was a loan spell. It was before he came here, yeah. Just before he came here, that was a spell. It was a loan spell from Cambridge. Ball is outplay for a Lincoln City corner once again. Maguire has to, I think, was going to trot across to take it, and then left it for Brooks to take instead. So Brooks will take this corner. Lincoln looking to get themselves a goal. Ball played in towards the penalty spot. It's played out to Maguire. Doesn't take the shot in. Tries to get the ball across the penalty area. It's going to be easily cleared away by the Pilgrims. And it's nearly a mistake again at the back for Lincoln City. Long has it and plays it forward to Liam Bridcut. Bridcut looks to switch play out to the left to Bramall. Really good pass. And now there's a chance for Lincoln. Played across the box. Oh, and Maguire can't get there. It was a really important sliding challenge coming in there from It was Fraser Preston, was it, of all the players back there defending?
I remember Cohen Bramall from his Hednesford Town days. I think he played against us a couple of times, and then he got the move to Arsenal. So certainly had a mixed and varied career. But start from at Lincoln last season.
Ball played into the box. It's cleared away, only partially. Is that going to go out for a corner, or is it going to be out of play for a goal kick? It is going to be a goal kick to be taken by Peace Cricket. Remains Boston 2, Lincoln City 0. Here on Open Glory on BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Reminder, commentary of Boston United home and away in the league this season on the BBC Sport website. Not long till the big kick-off at all.
Myself and the vice chairman have had a bit of a joke through the winter. We count the Saturdays since we played, and I think we're 29 Saturdays from Boxing Day when we last played here to today, and then there's only 4 more now to spend anymore. So it's great, but it's frightening in equal measure because there's so much still to do. But we'll be ready, and really looking forward to having spending more down here in 4 weeks' time for what should be a fantastic start to the new National League North season.
Ball with Fraser Preston for Boston. Elliott helps it back into Green. A little bit of space for Green to use. Elects to just hold on to the play for a second or two with Platt. Now with Tootle. Gets dispossessed, but it goes out of play for a Lincoln City throw.
Well, the linesman's given a Lincoln City throw, but everybody, including the referee, is shaping up for a Boston throw. And it is a Boston throw.
It is a Boston throw, yeah. The linesman's the only one who has given it the other way.
The referee didn't even seem to take any notice of what he'd signalled. I think it was so obvious that it was.
Ball with Shane Byrne now, moving forward, out to the left to Duxbury, former Stockport man. Back into Byrne once again. Now with Garner, across to Shields, forward to Paul Green. And Boston controlling the game, controlling possession. One ball forward, out of play, Lincoln City throw. And game's just gone into a pre-season lull now, I think this is the best way of describing it, isn't it? Because
yeah, we had a drinks break when Luke Shields went down, another one when Adam Jackson went down, and I don't think the game's really recovered any tempo from those 2 stoppages. But I'm sure once we get an influx of fresh legs at half-time on both sides, it will potentially pick up again.
Jackson into Cohen Bramall. Let's be careful not to get dispossessed. There will be a Lincoln City throw once again for Bramall to take. Into Maguire, then Bramall again, clears it long. Garner heads it clear into Shane Byrne. Lincoln trying to win it back through McGrandles, who does really well, looking for a runner. Maguire is a willing runner, but it's played in field to Longdon. Back out to the right now for the Imps. Still with Maguire down the right. Back to Longdon once again, looking for the forward run. One of the trialists, but Boston able to deal with it through Garner. And then Duxbury will try and clear it a little further. Duxbury does clear it, but it goes out of play, out of the stand. And it will be a Lincoln City throw, which the balls are already dotted around the pitch, so no big wait for the play to get back underway. Maguire tries to flick it out to the right with a little bit of skill from him. And then it's given away, and it's a chance for Boston on the attack once again. With Tootle, we're about to see how many of added time there will be by the looks of it. As Boston chip the ball forward down the right, Jordan Preston sprinting after it and getting there. Preston doing really well. Going back to Tootle, now into Preston, across to Tootle. Bit of pressure on him from Bridcut, and Lincoln get themselves a free kick. Free kick taken quickly. Elliott tries to help the ball towards goal and scores. And it's a third for Boston United. Elliott with his second. Boston lead 3-0.
That same combination again, wasn't it? Duxbury down the left, whipping the ball in, and Danny Elliott getting a much cleaner connection on this occasion. 45 minutes right on the stroke of half-time, and the Pilgrims lead 3-0.
He's a player who certainly almost came out of nowhere as a Boston United signing. I don't think he was on anybody's agenda really to be coming to Lincolnshire to sign for Boston, but if he can continue this kind of form as we head into the National League North season, he's going to be a real dangerous player for Boston this year. If that finishing is anything to go by, a real good finish there.
Yeah, he'd only been really talked about for the last week or so before signing, so I'm not sure how the connection had arrived, but Craig Elliott, signing his namesake, was desperate to get it done, and you can already see why.
The 2 minutes added time in this first half. Boston leading Lincoln City by 3-0, and in control. Maguire back to the centre half, and now it's with Maguire once again. Looks to play it forward, one for the run of McGrandles, but again just a little bit too much on the pass, and it's Peter Cook who gathers.
Yeah, nice ball over the top from Maguire, but just that fraction too long for McGrandles, who looked like he was going to get a shot away for his team.
Ball is with Peter Crook's taking his time, as I think we are going to see wholesale changes at half-time for both teams, I would imagine. Platt plays the ball up into the air. Bramall tries to win it against Elliott. Hooker lays it off from McGrandles, who chips the ball forward for the run of Maguire. And again, it just drifts through to the goalkeeper, Cook. Cook has it, and then plays it long. Elliott can't win the header against Jackson, laid off by Maguire to McGrandles. McGrandles across to Maguire. And now Lincoln moving forward over the halfway line. One for the run of Brooks. Brooks sprinting to try and keep this one in play. Does well. Ball crossed now in towards the far post. Easy one for Crook to gather. Well, in fact, it goes over his head and behind. And there is the half-time whistle. And, well, Craig, Boston United fans certainly be happy with what they've seen of their new-look side.
Yeah, I don't think you can really ask for a better half of football from a United point of view on their first appearance in front of fans. Really positive going forward. Danny Elliott has looked unplayable at times. He's helped himself to a couple of goals. And, yeah, like you say, all in all, from a United perspective, very, very encouraging signs. Obviously, admittedly against an experimental Lincoln backline during that first half.
So half-time here it is. Boston United 3, Lincoln City 0. We'll be back in about 15 minutes' time for second half commentary here on Booster Sounds. Of this pre-season friendly between Boston United and Lincoln City. Boston leading by 3-0 at half-time. 2 for Danny Elliott, 1 for Jordan Preston. There has been numerous changes made by both teams, which we'll try and take you through as the half goes on. It's Rob Makepeace and Craig Singleton with you for commentary. I can tell you that Adam Jackson has gone off, Colin Bramall has gone off for Lincoln City. Robbie Longdon, Chris Maguire also has made their way off. Conor McGrandles, Billy Brooks all off. Teo Eden, Max Melbourne, Lewis Fiorini on. It is with Lincoln City at the moment. Thrown and flicked on. by Freddie Draper. And it is with the new goalkeeper for Boston United, the trialist goalkeeper Josh Barnes. Barnes goes out to the left to Duxbury. Duxbury tries to play it back in field. It's dealt with by the Imps. Still with Lincoln now with Sanders. Across to Max Melbourne. Melbourne looking to move forward to the left to Teo Eden. Plays it forward. Still with the Imps. Hawkridge, the ex-Imp, playing for Boston in the second half. Tom Platt, one of those players surviving from the first half, as is Scott Garner. Now played to Leasley. Leasley to the left to Duxbury. Now to Hawkridge. Long ball forward by Boston, dealt with by Teo Eden. Now here come Lincoln moving forward, looking for the run down the left of Draper. Draper moving forward. Draper plays it into Fiorini, edge of the penalty area, edge of the D. Just played back now into the path of Teo Eden. Eden forward, back with Eden once again. Now with Fiorini. Now it's with one of those played forward into Draper. Does well to protect the ball, Draper. Does really well, but it will be a free kick Lincoln City's way, even though Draper nearly worked his way through. So it's a chance for the Imps with this free kick right on the edge of the D, just right of centre. Great chances for the Imps to get a goal back early on in this second half. Sanders with the right or Max Melbourne with the left are the two options here. And it is going to be Sanders with the right, curling effort, palmed away by the goalkeeper Barnes, picked up by Wheatley. Now played forward by Eden into Wheatley once again, goes to Sanders, now with Melbourne, looks to get the cross in, it comes all the way through to the far post to one of the trialists. Picked up by the Imps once again, in the middle of midfield to Jones now, from Sanders with Jones. Jones still with it, out to the right to one of the trialists. Still with one of the trialists for Lincoln City, edge of the penalty area. Ball with Sanders. Fiorini, back to the trialist once again. Into James Jones, now with Wheatley. Out to the left, now to Teo Eden, back to Max Melbourne. Lincoln keeping hold of the ball, although Sanders couldn't force the pass through there, the former Brighton man. Now with Carol Wheatley again, out to the left to Teo Eden. Eden with it into Wheatley, does really well. Wheatley with the shot, just goes wide of the post. A good football from Lincoln City, remains 3-0 to Boston.
Yeah, lively start to the second half. Looks like Lincoln they've got a completely different 11, apart from the goalkeeper, just about, I think, haven't they? So, certainly a lively start from the substitutes. A couple of close shaves, but like you say, United retain that 3-0 lead thanks to that pretty good save from Josh Barnes from the Max Sanders free kick.
So Boston have possession with Garner. Boston bringing on a number of players at half-time, including Jordan Burrow and Terry Hawkridge. It's a run for Burrow. Should be dealt with by the Lincoln defence. Played back to Sam Long, who clears it towards the halfway line. Garner heads it back to where it came from. It's picked up by Burrow, trying to use his strength to keep hold of it. Gets barged to the ground, but he's kept hold of it, does well. And then it goes out of play for a Lincoln City throw. He did well there, Jordan Burrow.
Yeah, he wasn't giving it up, was he? Couldn't quite win his side a throw. But, yeah, like you say, determined play there from Jordan Burrow.
So chance for Lincoln. Ball with Leasley. Out of play for a Boston United throw. Boston throw ready to be taken by Duxbury. Duxbury throws it into Hawkridge. Holding up the ball, back to Duxbury once again. Plays the ball across the defence. That's one that Wheatley's going to try and get there. Oh, and that's a real late challenge from Wheatley. He's really badly mistimed that on Shields. And he sent him off. It's a red card. And, well, Craig, there's no surprise there, I don't think. I mean, it's very rare we see a red card in a friendly, but it was a very late challenge.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I think he's a young lad. I don't think there was any malicious intent there. He was just keen to make an impression after coming off the bench. But yeah, you can't really tackle like that. And I guess Kevin Friend's dilemma was: am I applying the rules for a game of football or a pre-season friendly? And
so
very rare, like
Wheatley,
you say, that you do see a red card in pre-season. But
no, Cara Wheatley sent off. It was just a ball played across. I don't think Luke Shields was aware it was coming towards him, and Shields was certainly stretching to make sure Wheatley couldn't get there, but Shields had already cleared the ball when Wheatley came in with a challenge. Just, I think luckily for Shields, he half saw it coming and he could try and prevent it being as bad as it might have been.
yeah, you don't like to see tackles like that, but B, you don't like to see red cards in non-competitive fixtures. Yeah, I think Kevin Friend's just coming across to explain to the Lincoln bench his rationale, but there weren't really any protests, were there? Well, there certainly would have been any protests in a normal game, but
it's one of them, isn't it? I know it's a friendly. Rich O'Donnell just speaking with Kevin Friend at the moment, and Shields still receiving treatment. The Lincoln physio, Luke Trevor, just coming on just to help Hayden Clifton out with this treatment.
We can't be accused of bringing a nobody referee in, can we? We've gone for potentially the best in the business.
No,
so.
and I think to be fair, the Lincoln officials are saying, the coaching staff are saying, I understand why you made that decision, why you made that call. Luke Shields is back on his feet, more importantly, which is good to see. And he's limping off though, and that will be a concern for Craig Elliott, with Andy Butler missing out today. And does look like, in fact, Shields is struggling to put any weight on his right leg by the looks of it. He puts a little bit on as he makes his way close to the dugout area, but not good for Boston United. This Lincoln down to 10 men. One of the half-time substitutes, Kyrell Wheatley, sent off here, and Shields really struggling to make his way off here. That's a warm round of applause from the Boston United supporters, and we're going to see the only trialist for Boston United that's not named. Come on.
Yeah, knew he was a centre half, don't know much about him. Going to get an opportunity to impress. Luke Shields doesn't look comfortable, does he? And like I say, not a good situation. Anybody, not a good situation for Wheatley, who's been sent off in a friendly, and not a good situation for United and Luke Shields.
Yeah, we'll try and get an update of how he is at full time here on BBC Sounds. Reminder, we'll have reaction to this game with Scott between 5 and 6 on Summer Saturday. That'll be back on the usual Listen Live page of the BBC Radio Lincolnshire website. Ball with Boston. One for the trialist to fire back to his fellow trialist, the one that's named though, Josh Barnes. And now it's with Garner. Across to Tootle, who's filling in at centre half now. Tootle's long ball forward, easily gathered by Sam Long, and there's been a bit of a rejig, as you say. Craig, Andy Butler missing out today.
Yeah, got a whack to the eye on Tuesday night with quite I believe a couple of stitches in a wound just above his eye, so nothing too serious there, but Luke Shields potentially could be serious, couldn't he? It looked to be moving well at all. Just hope that it's an impact injury and nothing more.
Ball out to Duxbury on the left. Long ball forward, one for Elliott to try and chase. It's put out of play by Max Melbourne for a Boston corner, and Boston looking to continue where they left off in the opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's been pretty much all Lincoln at the start of the second half, hasn't it? But obviously the red card has interrupted the flow. And Craig Elliott will now get a chance to look at his trialist in defence, and if he is going to need to bring somebody else in to cover for Luke Shields' absence, then the race is on.
Right-footed in swinger, headed out off a Boston head, so it will be a Lincoln City throw. And it will be a chance for Lincoln to try and move forward with Teo Eden from the throw. Boston leading 3-0, Lincoln down to 10 men in this game. Ball is with Teo Eden. Cleared by Boston. There's a chance for Elliott to move forward, just gets dispossessed by Fiorini, the Man City loanee. Eden can't keep hold of the ball, now with Platt into the midfield to Byrne. Garner across to Duxbury. Duxbury looking to move forward, goes back to Leasley. Across the midfield to Tootle, now with Hawkridge. Hawkridge and Fiorini, it was almost like two twins there because they're similar height, not got a lot of hair. It's two twins fighting over the ball there.
The other one used to play for Lincoln as well.
Yeah.
Similarities go on.
Leasley with the ball into the box, it comes to the far post. Hawkridge will try and get there, but it should be dealt with by Teo Eden. Finds Jones. Jones tries to find Freddie Draper. Draper still fighting for it, but dealt with again by the Pilgrims. Cleared long up into the air by Tootle. Elliott knocks it down for Burrow. Bit of space now for Boston to work in with Leasley. He's got a deflection on the shot behind for a corner.
Adventurous effort from Leasley, but it's won his team a corner, a deflection there, taking it out. And United aiming to capitalise on that one-man advantage, which you so rarely see in a pre-season friendly.
So corner for Boston as they look to get their fourth goal in this first game in front of new supporters. First game at the new ground in front of supporters, not new supporters, although there might be some new supporters here. Ball flicked in, Jordan Burrow completely getting his direction of the header completely wrong. How are season ticket sales looking, Craig, for the season?
Yeah, we're okay. I think we're in and around the 400 mark so far, and hopefully we can, well, I don't want to preempt things, but hopefully we'll be able to release a few more restrictions which may enable more fans to go where they want, if you know what I mean. Obviously we've not currently allowed them to be able to pick their seat in the stand. Not currently got the East Stand operational for home fans, but that may change. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks we could see numbers increase and really kick on for a big crowd on that first day against Spennymoor.
It'd be great to see. Commentary of that online for you on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, on the BBC Sport website. Commentary of the Pilgrims home and away this season in the league. Ball with Tom Platt forward for Boston. Eden tries to win something and gets himself a throw off the chest of Danny Elliott. Ball is with Eden for the throw. Back now with Melbourne to Teo Eden once again. Eden forward looking for Draper. Draper does really well. Lovely turn from Draper. Just has to turn back to his right. And then the ball's played across to one of the trialists on the right-hand side. In fact, it's all trialists down this right-hand side for Lincoln City now. Ball with Sanders in the midfield, finds Eden. Eden helps it out to Max Melbourne. Melbourne chips it forward, looking for the run of James Jones. Boston trying to see that one out. Cleared long by the goalkeeper, Barnes. Only finds Melbourne on the halfway line, though, for Lincoln. Melbourne chips it forward to Jones. Jones goes down. Lincoln, though, picking up possession once again. They don't get themselves the free kick. Now it's with Fiorini. Melbourne now has it for the Imps. Still with Lincoln City. Out to the right to one of the trialists, moving forward. Dispossessed. And then wins the ball at the second attempt. Byrne wanted a free kick, nothing given. Eden helps it forward down the left, looking for the run of Jones, and that'll be an easy one for the goalkeeper to gather. Remains 3-0.
Yeah, it's not an afternoon you want to be playing with 10 men, is it? It's a hot afternoon. And, United will be aiming to make the pitch as big as possible in this last half an hour or so, and look for more goals. Danny Elliott certainly seems still to be on the move.
Yeah, Elliott, great run from him. He's got ahead of the defender. Elliott's still with it, looks to play it across the goal. no Boston players there. It's going to come back out to Byrne, calls for him to shoot. Now with Tom Platt, he does get the shot away, and it's gathered by Sam Long. Is Lincoln about to make another change in a second or two? Sanders has the ball for Lincoln, back with Max Melbourne. Melbourne moving forward, straight down the middle of the pitch. He's got all the way to the halfway line. Out to the left to Fiorini. Back into Sanders. Now with Eden, once again for Lincoln, trailing by 3 goals still in this friendly. Eden has it once again. One ball forward, looking for the runner, one of the trialists, nothing on it though. Easy one for the goalkeeper, and I think the heat is starting to, although we've had changes, I think the heat is starting to take its toll on some of the players already, Craig, especially some of those who've
been on from
been
the
out
start.
for a while.
Yeah, Danny Elliott looks like he's going to take a break. Jake Wright, first action of pre-season, so interesting to see how he gets on. Similar sorts of player really, quick, running behind, and potentially in direct competition to start alongside Jordan Burrow if that's the option that Craig does go for with the big man, little man combination.
Ball with Boston and Byrne on the halfway line, now with Platt, left for Byrne. Ball with Elliott, gets dispossessed by good tackle from James Jones. Sanders has it, across to Teo Eden. Now with Sanders once again. Sanders looks to switch play over to the right, goes straight out of play. And we are about to see those changes by the looks of it. So Jake Wright coming on for Boston, and it will be Meki Angle, another of Lincoln's young players, coming on at right back. So he's on for the trialist right back, so that's one trialist out of the way for me, Craig, which is good. And Jake Wright will be on for Elliott.
Yeah, I can't imagine it'd be anybody else. Well, Elliott's worked himself into the ground. He's really made a good impression so far, and going to get a well-deserved rest now for Jake Wright.
Yeah, he's done very well, hasn't he, Elliott? There's 2 goals, and really good goals he scored. So it will be a throw for Boston United. Haven't made that change. Jake Wright will be looking to get through a full season without picking up any injuries, really, won't he? That's going to be his key this year.
Yeah, we think back to the last, fairly completed season, the COVID season. I think he pulled his hamstring in August, then he came back and did his shoulder in January, and then he came back and the final game really before lockdown, which was the County Cup final at Central Bank against Cleethorpes, I think he managed to knock himself out, so he had 3 completely unconnected injuries, but all obviously hampered his progress. But as we saw, especially against Gateshead in the semi-final last season, or 2 seasons ago now, whichever way you looked at it, on his day, there's not many better at doing what he does in this league.
Ball with Tom Platt, played into Leasley, switches play to the right to Tootle. Over the halfway line comes Tootle. Trialist makes the overlapping run, but Lincoln cut that one out through Eden. Eden comes forward over the halfway line looking for options, goes wide to the right. Cleared and out of play for a Lincoln throw to be taken by Meki Angle. The right back for the Imps, bright yellow boots. Played the throw into Jones, who's down on the ground with Tom Platt. Lincoln want a free kick, and they get a free kick for the foul on Angle. Just takes his time over this, then plays it short into Sanders. Spins away from Jake Wright, now with Melbourne, edge of the centre circle. One of the trialists now with Sanders once again. Chip ball forward, nothing on it. Straight through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Josh Barnes made that particularly good save early on from Max Sanders, but hasn't been overly tested otherwise. So it's probably a difficult situation for a goalkeeper, isn't it? You want to be tested, you want to make an impression, but you want to see your team doing well, don't you? So
ball is with Boston at the moment with Tom Platt. Platt out to the left to Duxbury. Duxbury tries to play the ball forward and finds Hawkridge. Hawkridge still with it. Slip from Angle. Leasley with a cross into the box towards the far post. Burrow with a header against his former side, and that's 4-0.
And that's the dilemma for Craig Elliott. Does he go for all his pacey attacking players up front, Or does he go for the traditional centre forward who's not going to run as much, not going to be as mobile as much, but isn't half as effective in the air? And great goal there, Leasley cross, Burrow header, and how many times will we see that this season?
Yeah, it was a classic centre forwards header, head the ball back where it came from, planted it into the back of the net. We're going to see Conor Di Maio about to come on for Boston United very shortly. Central midfielder who was mightily impressive last season in that curtailed season. And so Lincoln 4-0 down here in this pre-season friendly. Ball is with the Imps at the moment. Played forward to one of the trialists, now into Draper, back to one of the trialists once again. Space on the left for Teo Eden. Eden across to Sanders. Sanders with a bit of room. Sanders still with a bit of room. Goes back into one of the trialists, out to the left to Fiorini. Still it's with Lincoln City. Jones. Too much on the pass. Goal kick. And, well, as I say, we're covering both the teams here this afternoon, Craig. And we're about to see Conor Di Maio come on. If you're a Lincoln City fan, I'm sure there'll be a few slight concerns of what's gone on today, but if you're a Boston United fan, as we have the drinks break in fact, you'd be delighted or not trying to get too carried away with what you've seen today.
Yeah, I suppose from a United point of view, you've got to contain expectations because this isn't a full-strength opposition. There's been 2 or 3 trialists out there, but still quite a few League One players in action, so you've got to counter it with that. From a United point of view, they will say that some of their football attacking play has been very good, which it has. I'm sure Lincoln will point to 1 or 2 deficiencies with trialists at the back, but that's happened in pre-season. And Lincoln's obviously other handicap second half is the fact they're playing most of it with 10 men following that challenge from Wheatley, which obviously forced Luke Shields off, unfortunately. So you can never read too much into pre-season, can you? I know last Friday at Matlock when we lost, there was 1 or 2 of our fans thinking, oh dear, it's a game Boston should win, but it doesn't work like that, does it? And sometimes the intensity from the higher place team can not quite be there, but particularly on a day-to-day for Boston, which means so much to get back in front of their own fans. They've just turned on the style at times and been really good.
Certainly have. So the drinks break about to be over. Craig Elliott just out on the pitch giving some instructions to his team. So for Lincoln, the players we've not seen, well, there's only one in fact. Matt Boylan is the one Lincoln player remaining on the bench, and for Boston United, just Jay Rollins, who we're missing at the moment.
Yeah, Di Maio just about to come on. Guessing probably Shane Byrne to come off, but yeah, like you say, Jay Rollins, he's not trained an awful amount. He's missed the last week or so, but after playing at Matlock last Friday, so presume he won't get too long today. United got another week now before the next game, following the cancellation of that Stamford match. So Norwich City is the next game here next Saturday.
Well, the linesman hasn't even got back in position, and the referee started the game, so he's all ready to go. Ball is with Boston United at the moment, leading by 4 goals to 0. Lincoln are down to 10 men as well. Kyrell Wheatley sent off early on in this second half. Ball with Shane Byrne at the moment, down to Hawkridge. Tootle to Garner now. Garner moving forward. Still with Boston United and with Scott Garner. Mayo still waiting to come on. Garner has it. Plays the chip ball forward, finds Hawkridge. Lovely knockback from him to Platt. Now Byrne. Back to the left to Duxbury. Really good play from Boston. Hawkridge just gets the ball stolen off his toes. And it is a Lincoln City throw, but a Boston United change. So it's either Byrne or Platt, isn't it? One of these two that's going to.
Yeah, I would think
like
for like, it'll probably be Byrne. Although there isn't a like-for-like replacement for Platt in the squad, so I'm sure at times he's not going to play. But like you touched on earlier, Shane Byrne, what a good player he's been in this league for the last 5 or 6 years. Initially with Nuneaton and then Brackley. And he's come here with promotion firmly on his mind.
No, he's been a very talented player. Hopefully showcase those talents at Boston United this season. It is Lincoln City who have possession through Max Melbourne. Melbourne with the long ball forward, looking for the run of Draper, but as has been the template really for Lincoln City this afternoon, all the balls have been overhit when they've tried to find those runs of the forward players, Craig.
Yeah, they have, and Draper, since the red card, has been really isolated, doesn't he? You've got to feel sorry for him out there in this heat. He's been asked to plough alone, 4-0 really on his own. Up against the fairly experienced United back line, it's going to be a good learning curve for him, but is it just now a case of damage limitation for City? I don't think they want to let any more in, and you wouldn't imagine United will be busting a gut really to go and get to him anymore. It's job done. It's all now about fitness for the afternoon and for the season ahead.
Here comes the trialist down the right. Looks to get the ball across and nearly found the back of the net. That was fired across goal. And I think Sam Long even got a touch on that to help it behind.
Yeah, fizzing cross. I don't think it was intended as a shot, and Sam Long just got a touch to force it behind for a corner, which Joe Leasley's going to come across to take.
Leasley provided the goal for Jordan Burrow in the 66th minute. Corner in, right-footed this time. Header comes in, shot from Di Maio. Good save from the goalkeeper. He palmed it away. Di Maio kept his shot low. Just rebounded to on the edge of the penalty area. It was a good save from Long. Yeah,
really good save. I think it was Duxbury with the header initially, and the ball just fell kindly for Di Maio. Long got down well to his right-hand side. It was a solid save, nothing out of this world, but still a decent stop. And he's had a pretty good game, hasn't he, despite letting 4 goals in.
Yeah, made a couple of really good saves, hasn't he? Sam Long in goal. Ball is with Garner at the moment. Cross to Di Maio. Just on the halfway line, Di Maio finds Tom Platt. Key player in Boston United's hopes this season, Tom Platt. Ball with Di Maio once again. Looks forward, looks for a pass the former Stockport man, finds Burrow. Back with Di Maio and then Tootle. Across to Garner. Now with Platt once again. Lincoln trying to win it back. And it's back with the goalkeeper, Josh Barnes. Garner has it. Out to the left to Duxbury. Duxbury's forward pass is cut out by Jones. He then gets bundled to the ground by Jordan Burrow. Lincoln free kick.
Yeah, Duxbury just overplaying a little bit, and then Burrow unable to retrieve the situation without fouling James Jones. City trying to mount an attack.
So a few Lincoln fans behind the goal, just making their way back to the car by the looks of it. Finish their afternoon's viewing. Garner has it across to the goalkeeper Barnes, who with that light green edging, I keep thinking he's got a towel wrapped around his neck every time he runs. If you just look when he's running from behind, it looks like he's got a towel wrapped over his neck.
His modern goalkeeping kits,
yeah, look, if you look from there,
all the fancy patterning.
Yeah, it just looks like he's got a towel wrapped around his back and it's down his side.
You probably do with one, given how hot it is.
Certainly, yeah, he's going for a full-length kit, whereas Sam Long's rolled his sleeves up. Angol gets ahead on it.
I'd imagine for Lincoln fans as well, it's their first opportunity to see the team in the flesh. I know they got to the couple of the playoff games, but I'm sure there's people here today who didn't manage to get tickets for either of those games. So good for them to be back in the ground as well.
Yeah, certainly club hopeful they'll be able to have full stadium back by the start of the season, which looks like the plan. Ball with Fiorini. Across to Sanders, switches play to the right to Angle. Angle has it. Back to one of the trialists at centre half, now into Sanders in the centre of midfield. Melbourne, who was on loan at Walsall last season, plays the ball through. Eden will try and get there. Eden does really well, just looks for an option. It's with Draper, miscues his first shot, will try and get his second, miscues that one, comes to Fiorini, he fires it wide. And that is that for Lincoln City, really. That was a great opportunity, but not able to put it in the back of the net.
No, a reasonable opening, wasn't it? Draper couldn't get his real connection, and then Fiorini as well. Not the greatest finish in the world, was it? And Josh Barnes escaped relatively untroubled.
So it is with Boston United. Reminder, reaction to this game will be with Scott over on Summer Saturday. He's on air now, and he'll be with you between 5 and 6 as well. So make sure after the stream finishes you pop across to our listen live stream on BBC Sounds on the BBC Red Lincolnshire website, or the old traditional way of FM or DAB, or you can also ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Lincolnshire, and Scott will appear. Ball with Draper, looks to play the ball through to Fiorini, dealt with by the trialist. Now with Barnes, very calmly done by Boston United. And they come away with possession. With Hawkridge now, looks to switch play over to the left to Leasley. Back now to Duxbury. To Leasley again, who provided the cross for the 4th goal for Boston. They lead 4-0 here.
Looks like we are going to see Jay Rollins for 15 minutes or so.
It's going to be about 15, isn't it, he's going to get?
And Luke Shields has re-emerged. He's got an ice pack strapped to his shin, so I'm a medical expert, but that may look slightly more encouraging that it's not directly on his ankle. It is.
Hopefully it's not as bad as it looks, and it's just more of an impact injury. It'll be the bruising that'll come out.
There's some key players in this squad, but I would put him right up there with the ones that you don't want to lose, because he just holds it all together. Him and Tom Platt.
Certainly do. Jake Wright down the left for Boston, wants to get the cross in. Burrow can't get there, it's going to be picked up by Hawkridge. Wide right of the penalty area, gets the cross back across goal. Angle will try and help this one out, but just leaves it for Jake Wright. Challenge then in on Jake Wright, corner Boston.
And really in the Shields and Platt positions, there aren't, for how good they are, and then there's not that much cover, whereas attacking wise you could come up with about 8 different combinations, couldn't you, with this squad United have got now, so really important to keep those two fit, I think.
So Jay Rollins about to come on for Boston. Who do we think is coming up here? Tom Platt?
Tootle, I think.
Tootle, is it?
I'm pretty sure Jay Rollins isn't going to play centre half.
No, I was going to say this is going to be a change, wasn't it? If we've seen Rollins play right back before, but not him to play centre half.
I think the trialist's going to go into centre half, and Rollins probably going to play it right back.
Corner comes in, gathered this time by Sam Long. Now with Fiorini. Fiorini moving forward. Fiorini still with it. Looks to switch play over to the left to James Jones for Lincoln. Lincoln still with it with Jones. Back to Angle. Now with Sanders. Now it's Fiorini once again. To Sanders. Out to the left to Angle. Here comes one of the trialists in field. Gets dispossessed. And it's dealt with by Boston United. And we'll be back with the goalkeeper, Josh Barnes. Burrow tries to play it forward. Boston have all the time in the world to pick up the possession once again through Duxbury. Into Leasley. And it's with Lincoln just trying to string a pass or two together with Fiorini, the Man City loanee. Across to Angle. And then here is Lincoln City with one of the trialists. Ball back with Max Melbourne once again. Melbourne still with it. Forward to Jones. Jones looks to switch play over to Teo Eden on the left, but it goes out of play. And Teo Eden, who's captaining the side in the second half, just switch to the second or two. Looks like Angle's going to play left back and Eden's going to play right back. Or are they going to switch? No, it looks like they are going to switch back to their regular positions.
The game's really lost its intensity now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Scott Duxbury's one of those 3 or 4 United players who's played 90 minutes and looks like he's about had enough.
I know. Duxbury and Platt, don't they? So you could tell they've been out for the...
Duxbury, Platt and Garner, I think, are the 3.
Yeah,
so.
they will be, won't they? Yep. For Lincoln, it was the centre-half trialist, B, and Sam Long. And that's mainly due to a lack of numbers for Lincoln City. As Boston looking to go on the attack again, and the ball had just gone out of play for a throw. Craig Elliott not happy with the linesman.
Yeah, it looked like it must have been a close call whether it went out or not. I wasn't particularly watching at the time. But Rob Atkins, an experienced EFL assistant referee, so I would imagine he gets more right than he gets wrong.
Yeah. like,
And at 4-0 up in the pre-season friendly, I can't see it's going to make too much difference.
I was going to say, and like everybody, like ourselves, like the players, we're all in pre-season training at the moment, so we're allowed to make a mistake or two. That's what pre-season's for. Get the minutes in the tank. Look at, unfortunately for us,
iron them all out before we get started.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, we've had nobody to come and take us over for the second 45. We've had to go through the full 90, so we'll be feeling it in the morning, I think. Ball is with Teo Eden. Dispossessed. It's with Lincoln once again. With Leasley, looks to play it forward for the run of Jake Wright. Melbourne's going to get their offside flag, has gone on anyway.
Yeah, Jake Wright's not really had too much opportunity to get involved, really, has he? I think it's potentially because the tempo of the whole game's dropped and United not getting the ball forward as quickly, and he's not able to really latch onto things. But I'm sure he's going to have a big part to play over pre-season, trying to establish himself in this team, which will be no mean feat because Craig Elliott's got plenty of options.
Ball with Sanders. To switch it out to the right, but it goes out of play. For a Boston United throw.
Just reading Scott Summers' Saturday tweets, and it looks like he's had an interview with Jonathan Van Tam, so you can listen to that on BBC Radio Lincolnshire between 5 and 6 tonight. I know JVT's delighted to be back first. He did come have a look round at one point, but he did first proper visit today for a game, and I know how proud he is to be here today.
Scott's figures being the most famous Boston United fan has gone out the window now. I think JVT's overtook him.
I was going to say, is JVT making the famous Boston fan?
I think JVT is. I think JVT wins it now, doesn't he? Yeah. Certainly, I think there's a few people are saying, what's that guy off the telly with Boris Johnson?
Yeah, I don't think, can't confirm that Boris is here today. But JVT.
Oh, that would be a turn up for the
It would, yeah.
It is going to be a right-footed in-swinging corner for Boston United as they look to add a fifth goal here. Ball played in. It's a header. It's a free header, and it's over the bar.
Yeah, Duxbury again. Doesn't usually go forward. I suppose in the absence of Luke Shields, he's the next one to go up. And couldn't keep it down. Leasley corner again. Duxbury header. Not too close to really threatening Sam Long in the Lincoln goal.
Jason the Kitman just came down from the stand. I thought he was going to get a run out then. He walked down with the manager who had his arm around him, and he was taking his bib off, and I thought he was going to get a game there for a second or two.
Well, and you got, what, 8 subs, so maybe those 3 that have played nearly 90 minutes don't see a rest.
Ball is with Duxbury. Back with Garner. Garner still with it. DeMeo to Hawkridge, back to DeMeo, edge of the centre circle. Space on the right for Boston if they want to use it with Rollins. Hawkridge, though, elects to go back to Garner at centre half. It's a beautiful summer's afternoon here in Lincolnshire. As Rollins with it, plays it forward for Terry Hawkridge. Hawkridge tries to get the cross in. Just tests the sturdiness of the roof there as the deflection came up. And it will be a throw for Boston as we enter the final 5 minutes or so. It is going to be a throw for DeMeo. Rollins fires the ball across goal, just hits Duxbury. He's going to be cleared by Angle. He's going to try and get onto his own clearance here. Just gets bundled to the ground. Referee says there's nothing wrong with that. Ball is with the trialist for Boston at the centre half as we enter the final few minutes. Boston leading by 4 goals to 0 at the moment in this pre-season friendly. Lincoln fans, some of them sat down on the terrace in the sun, enjoying their afternoon in the sunshine, probably enjoying it more than they are the football. As we always say, it is pre-season, isn't it?
Sun-drenched, the Lincoln fans, aren't they? They're in the prime spot for the sunshine. It's nice and warm over there on the east stand terrace, no doubt.
As we always say, it is pre-season, so don't read too much into results, do you?
Yeah, and as Craig Elliott wasn't really too despondent after losing to Matlock. He didn't want to lose, but he wasn't that fussed, and I think today he'll be happy with a lot of what he's seen, but he's not going to get carried away by any means, especially with we've got left three further games in pre-season, plenty of time still to tweak things. So exciting for the Pilgrims, new stadium, fantastic looking squad on paper and on the grass today as well, which we've seen. Plenty to be optimistic about, but with that added note of caution that it is only pre-season.
Here comes Rollins, picks out the cross, looks for Burrow, come up to Burrow, tries to head it down for Platt. Fiorini has it, plays it forward, dealt with by Boston with the trialist. Does really well to get away from Draper. Now space for Hawkridge to move forward into, out to the left to Duxbury. Duxbury eyes up a cross, instead goes back infield to Leasley. Now with Hawkridge once again out to the right to Jay Rollins. And it is DeMeo into Hawkridge. Hawkridge tries to find Jake Wright, who gets bundled in the back by Max Melbourne. And a chance for a free kick, and I think Colin DeMeo is going to pick this one up, or Joe Lees will pick this one up. They'll have a fight over it, and one of them will win.
Yeah, not very discreet, was it, in front of the referee, barging Jake Wright through the back. But I think this favours the left footer, so I would be surprised if Joe Leesley didn't take this. But like you say, Conor DeMeo more than capable free kick taker as well. But I think it just may favour the left footer.
So Leasley ready to take this free kick for Boston United, leading by 4 goals to nil as we're in the final few minutes of this game. It is going to be then Leasley who will take this free kick by the looks of it. Can he add a 5th to this game for Boston United? It is going to be Hawkridge, or going to dummy it or roll it back to Leasley, or is he just going to run out of the way when Leasley comes up to strike it? He lays it off to the left. Leasley with a shot. Oh, and that fired in towards goal. It was just always rising and went over the crossbar. It was a decent effort from Leasley, but it will be a goal kick for the Imps.
Bit of strike, wasn't it? Just like that little bit of direction. I think he went all out power. Sam Long not required to make a save on that occasion.
So it's going to be Long to take this goal kick. Plays it short to Melbourne. Back to Long. Inside their own penalty area. Long then does go long. Garner with all the time in the world, as he's told by his teammates. Across to one of the trialists now. To Platt, back to one of the trialists again. Now with DeMeo. Back to Garner. DeMeo has it again. Bit of pressure put on him by Jones, but with Boston trialists at centre half. Platt has it once again. Platt to Garner. Lincoln defending with 10 men, reminder. Cairo Wheatley sent off early on in the second half for Lincoln City for a late challenge on Luke Shields. Ball is with DeMeo. Looks for the run of Rollins. Is Rollins going to be able to keep it in play? No, he isn't. Just goes out of play. He's fast, but he's not that fast.
Yeah, I thought he'd done well. I thought he'd done well to keep that in, but not quite. DeMeo's through the ball, just overhit slightly, but Rollins showing his speed down the right hand side.
Referee's just going to speak to the linesman here about something. I'm not sure what this is about. Jake Wright now looks like he's going to be spoken to.
Jake Wright got too much to say for himself by the look of things.
Maybe.
Don't really know what that related
No,
to.
I'm not sure. It came out of nowhere.
Can't really think of an incident that he didn't get a decision on. So,
no.
If that's what it was at all, but I would imagine that's probably what it was.
So play continues. Angold loses out. Burrow tries to get there, but it's cleared long by Lincoln. Draper can't get there. Now with one of the trialists, he loses possession. Back with the Boston goalkeeper. We're going to get 1 minute of added time at the end of this game. I think any of the players really want to see any minutes of added time. It is with Duxbury. Duxbury back to Garner. Played into the midfield, now back with Hawkridge in the centre circle once again. Still with Boston United. Been a very comfortable afternoon for the Pilgrims. DeMeo has it. Across to Hawkridge. Still with Boston United and DeMeo. DeMeo plays it forward for the run of Wright. Wright does really well, gets the shot in, great goal. Real good goal that is from Jake Wright, 5-0.
And there we go. Jake Wright had hardly had a kick since he'd come on. Probably feeling a bit left out with Burrow and Elliott getting themselves on the score sheet, and Jordan Preston. And he probably comes up with a goal of the game. 5-0 to the Pilgrims.
Real good goal that was from Jake Wright. Nice individual goal that just rolled the defender with ease and then fired it into the reverse corner. And in fact, there we go. There is the full-time whistle. And well, if you want to crown the proper opening of your new home with supporters, that's how you do it, Craig, isn't it? That is the way to go about things.
Yeah, you take the injury to Luke Shields out, which hopefully isn't too serious. You couldn't ask for a better opening day than that, could you? 5-0 victory. Some really good attacking football. A crowd, both sets of fans represented, and it really feels like football's back at last.
Certainly does. 3 goals in the first half, 1 for Jordan Preston, 2 for Danny Elliott, 2 in the second half. Jordan Burrow with a header, Jake Wright with that great finish late on. We had a red card in this game as well, with Kyrell Wheatley sent off. That means it is full-time. Boston 5, Lincoln 0. Craig, just a reminder for Boston United fans, when's the next chance they'll get to see Boston in action?
So at home a week today, 24th against Norwich City's under 23s, and then on Tuesday the 27th of July against Notts County, and we hope to put tickets on sale for both matches on Monday or Tuesday and allow more and more fans to come down to the new community stadium and see the action in the flesh for the first time.
So there we go, full time here, Boston 5, Lincoln 0. Reaction to come with Scott.